Tom Lynham, the referee's wiped the tackle count clean. Lynham flings it back infield. Still play on, still the free play. Houghton, Danny Houghton still, and now Ellis. So 6 to go for Hull FC. Can they turn this into points?
Oh, he does well. Oof, no, he's out of field of play, but it was the free play anyway. So Hull FC would have had the ball back. He's still out of the field of play. Yeah, but they still would have had the ball back.
But they managed to make progress. They made a good few yards. Westerman, oh, the ball squirts out.
Oh, rubber the head, Joe Westerman. So close to the line yet again. Well, he made his debut back in 2007, Joe Westerman. And he's still only 25 years of age.
To be fair, he's putting himself
he
there.
Is, he
he's
isn't.
been there.
Do you know what? The work that he does, not only in attack, he leads by example. He plays in that middle unit, but he's a very creative player. And he's also done 44 tackles in this game.
And it's very easy as a player, when things aren't going with you and you're making mistakes, to just go into your shell and think, do you know what, I'm just going to stop doing the high-risk things and just take a back seat. Joe Westerman's not that type of player. Got plenty of character.
Watkins, little shimmy from the Rhinos' centre. But Steve Michaels eventually makes the tackle. Ash Handley. Handley plays the ball. Oof, Ellis.
He's like an exocet missile, isn't he? Is he hurt Joe Westerman there?
Westerman clutching his shoulders, just running through the shot. Singleton plays the ball.
He didn't like something, did he, Joe Westerman?
No.
He's had the lot, he's had drop balls, missed tackles, he's hurt his shoulder.
Delaney plays the ball. Sinfield. That one over the dead ball line. Leeds, for the first time in some time, have got Hull coming out of deep in their own half.
And I think Joe Westerman's leaving the field here. I think it's Jordan Thompson who's going to be coming on for him.
Here's Paliacina. There is Joe Westerman, rueful look on his face. He's been busy. That was forward, I think. Yep. Minicello looks at the referee and says, oh, come on.
Well, that's been the tale of the game, hasn't it? Minicello overruns that pass. You can see that Danny Houghton, when he picks the ball up, he's trying to engage the markers. And by getting out and taking those extra couple of steps, when you're running onto the ball, you need to just buy a bit of time and make sure you let the hooker do the job. But it's easier said than done when you're chasing the game, when you just want to gain some meters.
Danny Houghton up to 50 tackles now. He's had a heck of a game defensively, but that's because Hull FC have made the mistakes and had to do more defending than Leeds.
Well, Leeds look on course for their 15th semi-final in 20 summer seasons. It's some record, that is, from the Rhinos. The clock really against Hull now. Paliacina puts the shoulder in, but Yates managed to cling on to possession. Now Burrow scampering. Leeds looking for the try that will see off this whole challenge. It's been a stronger challenge from the black and whites in the second half, but they haven't been able to get past this Leeds rear guard. They'll be kicking themselves over a couple of opportunities when they could have done that. But here comes Kurt Yeaman.
Wow.
And Stevie Ward hits the heights there. Little grubber kick, and Jordan Rankin denies the Leeds chasers.
You can't doubt Hull FC's effort in this game. Again, another little kick, the pressure. Here's the hit from Kurt Yeaman. He gets right underneath Stevie Ward, takes him to ground. Another set of 6 now in their half. Can they keep the Rhinos out? Oh, a shot from Jordan Thompson.
Holy moly.
Andy Yates just, well, felt a bit tender by the look of things when he stood up then, Andy Yates.
Well, you can't run the ball in casually, can you? If Gareth Ellis or Jordan Thompson's in front of you.
I think I would.
Well, if you did, Bill, you'd get knocked over.
Here comes Rob Burrow, and Burrow trying to pierce the Hull defence. They keep it alive. Hardacre, Zach Hardacre, and Hardacre will cross. And Leeds now surely have booked a semi-final place. Hull claiming that that wasn't grounded, but Hardacre, there's no doubt about that. 7th of the season for Zach Hardacre. Words for Kylie Luluai from Brian McDermott. And the smiles from Leeds say it all. The noise from their supporters says it all. The look on the Hull coaching team's faces says it all. Leeds are heading for the semi-finals courtesy of that Zach Hardacre try.
Outstanding rugby league from the Challenge Cup holders. A nice line, nice footwork from Jimmy Kinehorse, who feeds the scrum half Rob Burrow, who tips it up. A bit of a speculator to the skipper Kevin Sinfield. And Zach Hardacre shows all the determination in the world, avoiding defenders. Wonderful play. It's a simple drop-off from the captain, who stays in the frame and picks up off Rob Burrow. How many times over the years have we said that? Sinfield to Burrow, Burrow to Sinfield, and Hardacre finishes off an outstanding try. Wonderful stuff.
Well, the composure yet again shown from this Leeds Rhinos side. They never know when they're beaten, they keep turning up for each other, and it's been a real team performance this evening.
Zach Hardacre applauding, and probably applauding Jimmy Kinehorse, because he's been playing in the second row last couple of weeks.
He was brilliant last week,
He's had to wait, he's had to be patient.
Yeah, he was brilliant last week.
2012 against the Warrington Wolves in the final was Jimmy Kinehorse's last cup appearance. He's contributed tonight as Kevin Sinfield maintains nearly a 100% record. One miss from Sinfield tonight, and Leeds celebrating 2 misses. In fact,
sorry Bill, you're right to give a pat on the back to Jimmy Kinehorse, because he doesn't panic when he offloads that ball. He buys a bit of time and just stays upright. Hull FC go for that short kick-off, but Ryan Hall, one of the best exponents of catching those high balls, comes up, offers himself and helps some of the lads up who were stood just 10 metres from halfway.
So Hull heading for more Challenge Cup heartache. They lost to Salford in that memorable Golden Point extra time defeat last season in the 4th round. High shot from Paliacina on Andy Yates, and Hull's, well, it's going to be concentrating on a top 8 finish, the focus for Hull FC now.
And 2 points for Leeds Rhinos here. Kevin Sinfield, he hit the crossbar in a similar position earlier on in the second half, just taking his time, getting plenty of fluids down. He knows that this game is well and truly in the bag. So just let the clock tick down, waste a bit of time, and it's mission accomplished for them in this quarter-final.
And here's the kick from Kevin Sinfield.
That's the one that hit the post.
Almighty player. I heard one of the Leeds fans in front of us shout, "Where's Jordan Tanzi when you need him?" Thinking back to that great magic weekend.
At Wakefield now, Jordan Tanzi, one of today's signings for Brian Smith. Sinfield determined to get this one over, having hit the post, and he does. That was still travelling and hit the ground just in front of the stand there where those Leeds supporters are sitting, saluting Sir Kevin, and another 2-pointer.
Well, if at first you don't succeed, try again.
Kevin Sinfield didn't need Jordan Tanzi on that one. It's been a masterful display. Of course, we talked about Danny Maguire, Liam Sutcliffe, 2 players who he's been competing with throughout 2015 to get one of the half-back spots, and he's stepped in, controlled this game, and had a massive influence on it.
For Hull, it's going to be a story of what might have been in the second half, because they couldn't get a look in really in the first half. The second half they did get a look in. They had a look at the Leeds Rhinos line on a couple of occasions, but just couldn't finish off.
Bill, they've tried right the way through this game, and even in the first half it was the mistakes, it was the penalties. In the second half they've had enough opportunities close to the line, but again it's just those mistakes.
Well, can they at least break their duck, avoid being nilled in this cup semi-final, this cup quarter-final? Leeds will be determined to keep them on 0. Here is Whiting. Tom Lynham. They've kept him quiet tonight. Tom Lynham, the danger man. Josh Bowden. Houghton. Price. Jordan Abdul. Little step from Jordan Abdul. Strength! And they have got off the mark. They have got points on the board. And Jordan Abdul has given a glimpse of his great promise there with that try, the 19-year-old. His second of the season, but too little too late. Lee Radford recognises that. What might have been for Hull in this second half. Rankin is going to tee it up very quickly, but like I said, it's come too late for the black and whites.
Well, I predict a big future for Jordan Abdul. Not afraid, not intimidated. As you rightly say, it's a just reward for a game where he's tried his best, tried things, good footwork, good balance, a good try-scorer's instinct as well. Sadly, not enough for Hull FC on the day, but he'll remember that, I'm sure.
Former Skirler amateur Jordan Abdul, who was a member of the England Academy side that performed so well against the Australians last December. And he should get a look in next time out as well, with Mark Sneed out. And Hull just managed to keep that one alive. It's good work from Tommy Lynham, in fact, to do that. Jordan Abdul slowly to his feet.
Another almighty collision. Brad Singleton on Mickey Payer. And there's a ball strip, and young Robbie Ward is in a place he does not want to be, being shoved around by Mickey Payer. He's thinking, I'm a rugby player, get me out of here. They're trying to get the big man to ground. And as I say, Robbie Ward will be thankful that Mickey Payer doesn't have enough energy to throw anything.
Houghton, that's one for Tom Lynham to chase. Lynham up the line, little kick ahead from Tom Lynham, but Zach Hardacre just manages to get there first. Here's Ryan Hall. Well, no try for Ryan Hall tonight. And Joel Moon set the ball rolling for the Rhinos with that first try. And that's the key, been the key, that first half performance from Leeds. 10-0 up they were at half-time. And they've never really been shaken. The defence was tested at times in this second half.
And that was because of the effort and endeavour that Hull FC had played with, but as we've said on a number of occasions, their execution. Lee Radford, off the back of last weekend, he said our execution needs to be better, and that's the story of this week. They broke the line, they put themselves in a position, and that man Jordan Rankin, he's not stopped trying. He's been good.
He has, hasn't he? He's led from the back.
He's led from the back, absolutely. There's been good performance throughout this Hull FC team, and even players like Joe Westerman, although he's made a lot of mistakes, and I'm sure he'll look back on this game and say, I can play better than that. He hasn't given up. There's no white flags and nobody looking for the long grass, and that's what Lee Radford will want. Josh Bowden making a mistake.
At the same time, that's been another character of this whole performance, hasn't it? They've coughed the ball up more often than Leeds have.
And I know it's easy to say, but Leeds Rhinos, the majority of their players have been in those pressure games. They've handled that pressure cooker situation, and they know what to do, and it's up to Hull FC to try and learn from this experience and move forward.
There's Robbie Ward getting his first taste of action of the season. In fact, he's been doing a lot of work for Hunslet and a dual reg role. Sinfield passes the responsibility on to Hardacre. I thought they were going to go for 1 point then for a moment. Here's Ablett. The clock counting down into the last minute here. Leeds heading for another Challenge Cup semi-final, the holders. And it's a very, for the most part, a very professional job, especially when you think the number of players out. Danny Maguire sitting in the stand here, so too is Cuthbertson.
And all the big decisions have gone through the mind of Kevin Sinfield. Perfect weather. Kevin Sinfield, throughout those big games, those grand finals, has played off the back of a good kicking game. And Leeds Rhinos have profited from the intelligent kicking game, the intelligent passing game that he's had and brought with him today.
Move, come on, back up. Here we are, Carl.
Jamie Jones-Buchanan here as well. Cuthbertson, Danny Maguire. So that's unfortunate. I mean, it's all unfortunate they're injured, but Danny Maguire has been in great form this season.
Play on, watch them.
Liam Sutcliffe, we hear, out for the remainder of the season after that ligament injury that he sustained last week. Michaels kicks ahead. Hardacre, one of the try scorers in this Leeds Rhinos victory that has sent them through to a 15th semi-final in 20 summer seasons. That is some performance. Kevin Sinfield guiding the side round the field and guiding the side once more into the semi-finals. Hardacre, one of those second half try scorers in a second half that was a lot tougher than the first 40 minutes was in terms of what the opposition threw at them. Joel Moon, scorer of the first try of this game that set the Rhinos on their way. It was Hull who needed a big start. It was Leeds who got it from Joel Moon, and that was a key as well. It's a story really of what might have been for the Black and Whites. It's a familiar tale for their supporters. And Leeds, well, top of the table and heading for another semi-final. Is a double on the cards. Kevin Sinfield, man of the match. Rupert Thacker from the sponsors Ladbrokes presents him with his champagne. And a quick word with Angela now.
Man of the match, nice to start and nice to get a place in the semi-finals.
Yeah, it was all about getting the win tonight. I think it's always tough playing a team twice on the bounce. We expected to come here and have a bit of a backlash, and I think they threw a whole lot at us. The conditions played a part here tonight, and just got to be in the semis now.
You're right about the conditions, but it wasn't a scoreline that kind of reflected the game. They had their chances but couldn't execute.
No, and we did, certainly in that second half, we had to do a lot of defence in our own 50, and I thought our big men stood up again. It had to be a team effort tonight. Back three carried the ball great. But I think we stood up, disappointed to concede that try at the end, but a good team win tonight.
Thanks very much for that, Kevin.
Thank you.
We've now got Gareth Ellis from Hull FC. Gareth, your coach said, you know, effort was perfect, excellent, but it was the execution, it really told in that game.
Yeah, it's what's been costing us over the last few weeks, and you can't make that many errors and bomb that many opportunities against a side like Leeds, and every time they got up there at our end, they put some points on the board, and it just shows, you know, they've been there before and been in tough situations before, and it showed tonight.
That's the case, you've got to really pick up now and move on with a really tight turnaround.
Yeah, we've got Wakefield now back-to-back Wednesday, Sunday, I think, so we've got to just pick ourselves up. An opportunity lost, obviously, in the Challenge Cup now, but we're in a position now where we're fighting for that Super 8 position, so all our attention turns to that now.
Do you feel as though you've got what it takes to push up the table now?
Yeah, you know, like Radders has said, you know, the effort's outstanding, you know, we can't fault that. I thought we played really well in patches, but just the amount of errors we're making at the minute is just not giving us a chance to win the game, and something we need to put right sooner rather than later.
Thanks for that, Gareth. We've next got the winning coach, Brian McDermott, to come and have a word with us post-match. Brian, you really wanted that win, you got that win, you nearly nailed them, and you're in a semi-final.
Yeah, no, it's been a great night, tough place to come. Weather it put pay to everybody's plans tonight, where everybody had to change. And thankfully we did a little bit better than Hull did with the ball, and I think that was the deciding factor really. I don't think it came down to Hull's lack of effort or game plans or anything. It just sometimes it goes with you. I remember coming in one of the final league games last year, and it was almost like role reversal because it was the same weather and we didn't handle the ball well at all, and we lost that game.
This is one of those games where you really want to get into a semi-final, but you also want to show that you can be better than you were last week. You weren't fully happy with that win last week.
No. You know, there were some periods, especially in the second half, where you're just not going to get away with that type of defence, especially towards the back end of the year. But I know the conditions helped us tonight, but defensively we pretty much shut Hull out of the game, which is the pleasing thing.
Thanks very much for that, Brian.
Well, defensively, they were pleasing indeed. One try to Hull FC, that coming from Jordan Abdul with just 5 minutes left in the game. Well, testament to that. Well, here's the tail of the tape. It was a half-time lead for the visitors, 10 points to 0. And that Callum Watkins try, just 2 minutes into the second half, was what clinched it in the end. Almost 10,000 in the stadium here. They made some noise, especially when the decisions went against them, Terry O'Connor. Let's look at that Callum Watkins try that really broke the hearts of Hull FC fans early in the second half.
Yeah, as you say, you come out of the changing rooms, you've been poor in the first half, you've made mistakes, you've given penalties away, you don't want to start the first 2 minutes in the second half like this and conceding a try. Callum Watkins is a fabulous player, fabulous talent. Kevin Sinfield had a hand in that, and I thought that he led them round the pitch. The mistakes that Hull FC made in this game did give that field position to them. I just thought they played on the back foot, Brian, all game.
Yeah, they did. They didn't give themselves too much of a chance. So that Callum Watkins one was followed up then by a Zach Hardacre try, Terry. This was 10 minutes to go in the game, and it showing the ability of this Leeds Rhino side to keep the ball alive.
Do you know, that offload from Jimmy Carnos, that's what a mature player does. He doesn't panic, he still buys a bit of time. He knows that there's going to be some support that's going to be pushing up with him, but he keeps on his feet.
Young Hull FC fan Sam was beside us, and he gave a huge cheer for this one. This Jordan Abdul try. The 19-year-old has plenty of talent, Terry, but not the greatest of games with his boot. Good kicking game, didn't come off tonight.
No, Brian, when you looked at some of the key men that were playing in this game for Hull FC, they were targeting in defence. I thought Leeds Pack were going to be under some pressure this evening, but they just stuck to the job. And when you have so many players that have been around the blocks, they've got so many miles on the clock, they just know how to close games down.
I want to talk to you about two of them in particular. There was no Liam Sutcliffe out with an injury for the rest of the season. No Danny Maguire, he picked up an injury in the victory over Hull FC last week. So you bring in Kevin Sinfield and Rob Burrow, over 1,000 career games. Tell me about Kevin Sinfield's contribution tonight.
Kevin Sinfield, I would say, has been the best Leeds player in the Super League era. Just the way he goes around, does his business, the way he just controls the pitch, his game management, his kicking game, whether it be on the third play, the fourth play. He knows how to put pressure on the opposition. And then when you're bringing the ball away 10 yards from your line, we saw it in this corner, we saw it in the other corner in the first half. It's very slippy conditions, and you've got forwards running off the line, trying to belt you, trying to knock you into knock sweet. Kevin knows what the psyche goes through players' minds, and he knew that worked, and that really hindered the Hull FC side tonight, I thought.
Well, we can hear from the Hull FC coach Lee Radford now. He's talking to Angela.
Lee, you said at half-time that the effort was there, everything else was in place. It was just that execution and making sure you took the chances. If only you'd taken the chances.
Yeah, look, no qualms whatsoever. We, I'd like to congratulate Leeds Rhinos and wish them all the best in the next round. We didn't deserve to go through, and like I said to you at half-time, my team talk at the end of last week's game was exactly the same as my half-time team talk this week. We, over the 160-minute period of playing the Rhinos twice, we haven't had a good enough skill set, and that has shown unbelievably tonight.
It's like you say, though, it's not the lack of ability, skill, it's everything's there. It's just getting that ball over the line.
Yeah, but that's the difference between the best sides and the mid-table sides, and that's where we're at the moment. That's what we've got to fix up. The challenge for us is to try and get that fixed for Wednesday. Again, physically and mentally, we've got to try and recharge ourselves as quick as we can, because we don't get time to dwell on it, unfortunately.
Thanks for talking to us, Lee.
Thank you. Ta.
Yeah, obviously a disappointed Lee Radford, but he will have to be back in action with his side very shortly indeed. Exciting times for Leeds Rhinos. Terry, their dream of a 13th Challenge Cup is still alive.
Well, they're into the semis now, aren't they? It's mission accomplished there, and this was going to be a tough game for them. The form that they've shown, I know they've been beaten in the last 2 games, but out of the previous 10 games, they'd only been beaten on 2 occasions in those games. So Hull FC, they were up against a very physical side, but I just don't think that they got into the stride. Whether they were put themselves under pressure, Brian, they seemed to play like that, I thought.
Brian McDermott referred to it in his interview. It wasn't a lack of attitude from Hull FC, it was sloppiness with the ball, something Lee Radford referenced in the build-up to this game.
Absolutely. You can't knock their effort, you can't knock what they were doing when they were defending. The kicking game of Kevin Sinfield, he was the difference in that first half, and then the way that they started in the second half, that it puts you on the back foot as a player. You think, what do we need to do to break these down? But when you look at Hull FC and you look at some of the players, Minocello didn't have his best game, Joe Westerman, effort on effort on effort, but it just wasn't to be for them this evening.
Okay, now they have to focus now on the race for the top 8. Their dream of continuing in the 2015 Challenge Cup is over for now. Plenty more sport for you on Sky Sports. Liverpool's Tony Bellew in action now on Sky Sports 1 in the boxing. And tonight, the PGA Tour Golf Travelers Championship Day 2 is on Sky Sports 4. Well, make sure you tune in for this. Hull Kingston Rovers, they got through to the semi-finals of the Challenge Cup. They're up against the Salford Red Devils. This exciting new innovation for Sky Sports fans. Sky Sports Extra, Sky Sports for iPad app, same time, same place on Wednesday. That shows Hull FC against Wakefield Trinity Wildcats. Those two games will have a huge bearing on who makes the top 8. This might have a huge bearing on who makes the top 4 of the top 8. The Warrington Wolves at home, the Halliwell Jones Stadium. Tony Smith needs to rally his troops for the visit of Sean Wayne's Wigan Warriors. 7:30 p.m. on Sky Sports 1 for that. And then Brian McDermott's side are back in action again. They're top of the Super League table and they host at Headingley. St Helens currently in second. Kieran Cunningham would love to knock over the Leeds Rhinos. 7:30 p.m. on Sky Sports 1. Well, we have a semi-final draw at Langtree Park Stadium on Sunday. Hull Kingston Rovers are in. Hull FC, unfortunately for the fans that were in here tonight, are not. Leeds Rhinos march on.
Ladbrokes, proud sponsor of the Challenge Cup on Sky Sports.
Join us right now on Sky Sports News HQ. These are our main headlines.
Take me for granted. At 2 in the morning, at -2 in the morning. Use me, abuse me. Take me out of the garage and take me for granted. No matter the why, the where, take me for a long drive. A 3-generation long drive. Pack me with friends, pack me with family. Just take me for granted. Toyota Yaris, now available with 0% APR representative. Toyota, always a better way.
Does your toothpaste make you feel like this?